Welcome to Legal Talk here on eRadio with Hamman Attorneys, and today we're joined by Jaco Hamman from Hamman, making the statement that there's no longer any bribery going on in South Africa. Jaco, first of all, hello and welcome. And what happened overnight that there's no longer any bribery in South Africa? What do we call it now?
Yeah, so it's not overnight. It's actually since around 2004 that there's no longer any bribery in South Africa. Let me just elaborate on that. So bribery is a term that was used in old legislation, and that referred to the criminal offence between an ordinary citizen and a government employee. So when a citizen would bribe a government official by promising or giving him money or gifts in favor to the government official in turn, so that government official will then grant him favors, like we know. So the individual will pay the government employee R1 million, and the government employee will give him a tender of 100 million rand. Now that was the offence of bribery. Now the challenge was that bribery didn't make provision for the same sort of actions between two individuals. So in other words, let's say, for argument's sake, you are now the CEO of a massive private company, and me as an individual would pay you money so that you would give my company a contract. The same principle, but now only between two normal citizens. Then there wasn't an offence. Now the guy said, but hang on, this can't be right. I mean, it doesn't just happen between a normal citizen and a government official. It also happens between individuals. Now, I mean, if you just have a think about one of the guys when the whole saga regarding Steinhoff, everybody said, you see, it's not only government officials and that sort of thing. Yeah. Now, then they came out and they said, well, okay, so therefore the offence of bribery is no longer adequate. Let's have the offence of corruption, and corruption caters for all those situations. So it's no longer that you sit with a situation that if one citizen gives money to another citizen, that's not a criminal offence. So let's create corruption. So whenever you're around a fire or you hear somebody talking about bribery, your listeners, and you can now say, no, that's called corruption. There is no such thing as bribery. Now, some may say it's a bit of a tomato, but in the same instance as well as like they say, knowledge is power. So we don't have bribery in South Africa, but corruption is all around us.
Lots of corruption.
We do forensic investigations, as you know, and unfortunately we see it a lot. And as long as that is history has shown you economy cannot thrive for that. So whenever people hear of bribery, remember it's wrong, it's corruption. And then whenever you hear of corruption, you must report it. You mustn't just leave it there. I thought about this morning about a story that I heard a couple of years ago about a colleague of mine who said that his father had created this excellent idea of a program, but the official wanted me to launch it, and he said, well, he's not going to do it, which is the first step. But the second step should have been to report that official. So we need to report that official so that we can continue on the process of getting this country right.
I'm actually seeing, Jaco, traffic officers. More and more of the traffic officers are being arrested for this kind of corruption, where they, they usually ask for something to eat, which is code for basically, a bribe or corruption.
Yes.
And they've got WhatsApp lines now where you can report them, and so many of them have been busted over the past year, especially in 2023, for asking for something to eat,
Yeah, you're right. And I heard over the festive season there was some ad or something on the news that said you can no longer give a cool drink to a traffic officer. And I just started laughing. I told my wife, as if you could have ever done it.
Exactly.
I mean the principle is you're giving him a cool drink so that he would look the other way. That's corruption.
It is.
And then, if you are doing that, then you are contravening PRECA. Now, PRECA is the legislation, the Prevention and Combating of Corrupt Activities Act. Now, there's Afrikaans saying that says die deler is so goed soos die steler.
Net so.
That's the principle. So if you give a cool drink to somebody, then you are part of that corruption.
That's how it starts. It starts with a cool drink.
That's how it starts.
Yeah.
And you can't, remember, if somebody's not giving something, then there's nothing for the other guy to take. So we must all look in the mirror, and I always say that you can't stand and complain around a braaivleis fire about the country and corruption if you're part of the problem.
Yeah, exactly. So true, Jaco. And it starts with a cool drink. Next thing you know, it's 100 Rand. Then it's 200 Rand. And before you know it, it's 2,000 Rand. It just grows and grows. And you're setting a bad example. But yeah, very, very interesting discussion today, Jaco. Thank you so much.
Pleasure, Ian. All the best.
And to you.
Are you or your business in trouble and struggling to find a solution? Call Hahn & Hahn Attorneys as we assist clients in finding solutions. We specialize in consumer and food law, commercial and construction law, forensic investigations and administrative law. Visit hahnlaw.co.za. That's HAHN. We assist clients nationwide. Hahn & Hahn Attorneys, because we care. Don't miss Legal Talk with Hahn & Hahn Attorneys, Wednesday mornings at 10 on eRadio.